Tesla's market share in France dropped to 1.63% in the first quarter. The automaker lost ground to brands including BYD and other Chinese EV makers, whose total share of the market rose to 3.19%. Never has a car brand suffered such a global fall from grace, said Quinton Wilson, founder of British EV campaign group Faircharge and a Tesla owner. Analysts expect data from other European markets this week to provide more clues on the group's global first-quarter delivery figures and consumer sentiment towards the brand. Registrations for key European markets including Germany and the UK will be released later this week. Tesla currently faces a number of challenges in Europe. The EV maker has a smaller, aging lineup while traditional automaker rivals and new Chinese entrants are launching new, often cheaper electric models. Tesla's changeover to the new Model Y has required pausing production at factories around the world, including at the company's plant outside Berlin early this year. Those disruptions cost Tesla weeks of output and either lost or deferred sales. European automakers are trying to capitalize on Tesla's decline by offering several cheaper battery-powered models, including Renault's €25,000, $27,008, R5 E-Tech and Stellantis's €23,300 Citroën EC3 city car. The vehicles also are meant to compete with offerings from Chinese companies pushing into the region. Tesla's weak numbers in Europe are the result of a combination of factors, Ben Nelms, head of the research group New Automotive, said. The company has failed to develop models that can compete on price. On top of this, the CEO's involvement in US politics is alienating many consumers. Musk's support of far-right parties in Europe, including for Germany's AfD that came second in February's national elections, appear to have hurt Tesla's sales on the continent. In the United States, the strategy would be to tie to patriotism and shift to the right, said Eric Schiffer, CEO of private equity firm The Patriarch Organization in Los Angeles. The European strategy is going to be more challenged and will need to be more about the value and competitive differences with the market there, he said. In response to Musk's right-wing activism, Tesla cars have become targets for vandalism across several countries, while Tesla takedown protests are planned across Europe and the US. On March 31st, Musk said that an overnight fire at a Tesla dealership in Rome that destroyed 17 cars was an act of terrorism. Bloomberg contributed to this report. Title: Deacon Jones Auto Group buys first dealerships in Virginia. Content: Deacon Jones Auto Group of Smithfield, North Carolina, on Jan. 29 purchased its first dealerships outside eastern North Carolina, in southeastern Virginia. The group bought Boyd Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of South Hill and Boyd Honda of South Hill. They are located on the same property, according to the purchasing dealer Ken Jones, Group CEO. The additions were renamed Deacon Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of South Hill and Deacon Jones Honda of South Hill. Jones said his group has experience with the brands of the acquired dealerships and the market is growing in that part of Virginia. We have 2 other Stellantis brand stores and 1 other Honda store, Jones said in a phone interview. Certainly, Honda is an attractive brand. The location also in an area where Microsoft is building large data centers and creating jobs, Jones said. On top of that, Jones said he and the selling dealer, Charles Brandon Boyd, are personal friends. Ken Jones said his sister and brother, Tina Jones Winborn and Dale Jones are partners and co-owners of the group. Dale Jones is vice president and a general sales manager. Jones Winborn is corporate secretary and a general sales manager, according to the company website. When it comes to selling your dealership in Texas, Hague Partners stands above the competition as the trusted expert in dealership buy-sell transactions. With unmatched experience and results, our firm has successfully advised on the purchase or sale of 80 dealerships in Texas, a testament to our deep industry knowledge, strategic insight, and commitment to maximizing value for our clients. The group is named after their late father, whose nickname was Deacon. He has no relation to the Hall of Fame pro football player, Ken Jones said. Sign up to get our monthly Done Deals newsletter focused on the latest dealership transactions and insights into the buy-sell market. The transaction gives Deacon Jones Auto a total of 18 new car dealerships, Ken Jones said. Boyd did not return calls seeking comment. Boyd Automotive Group now owns 3 dealerships, 1 in Emporia, Virginia, and 2 in eastern North Carolina, and all with various General Motors Company franchises, according to the group's website. Title: Stellantis shift to hybrids causes production delays in Europe. Content: Bloomberg News. Stellantis' strategy to make more hybrids is causing manufacturing delays in Europe because the automaker cannot source enough parts. The automaker produced 20,000 fewer vehicles than expected in March because it did not have enough hybrid parts and the right kind of tires, according to Stellantis' Europe chief, Jean-Philippe Imparato. One issue is that the European Union recently changed rules for carbon emission targets, making sourcing more difficult with the company typically buying parts 3 months in advance, Imparato said March 31st at a French Senate hearing on government aid for businesses. Stellantis said in October that there were production bottlenecks for electrified dual-clutch or EDCT transmissions used in its new 48-volt hybrid powertrain. Stellantis has been rolling back an all-electric strategy following the departure of CEO Carlos Tavares and weak car sales in Europe. The group, which is still looking for a new CEO, said earlier this year it would pool with Tesla and other automakers to buy carbon credits that can help it meet the stricter EU emissions rules. In this episode of the Ally All Ears podcast, Aaron Lee, Senior Director at Ally Dealership Insurance, discusses the growing threat of cyber attacks on dealerships and the importance of staying vigilant. He shares essential tips for safeguarding against these risks and highlights the need for specialized cyber insurance coverage to protect your business. EVs did not work, so we pushed full speed on hybrids, Imparato said. Only that in 2 months, small, medium-size and large suppliers do not know how to adapt. Stellantis risks EU penalties of about €1.7 billion, $1.84 billion, a year because low demand for EVs is likely to cause it to miss emission targets, Imparato said.